Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Business Coach, a show in which you out help entrepreneurs better their businesses. My name is Ian Dennis, and another week, another opportunity for us to explore the world of business. Tonight on the show, we're going to be exploring the waste management business. On the first half of the show, I'm going to be having a conversation with Eunice of Septic Specialist, a company that is specializing in biodigesters. And after the break, I'm going to be linking up Eunice to Sally of Directways, who have a very interesting technology on waste management called Jokatsu, all the way from Japan. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Eunice, finally we are getting to meet.
Yes.
I know we had planned to do this a bit earlier, but life happened. But I'm now glad you're well.
I am. I'm very well. I thank
Nice
God.
to see you.
Nice to see
Something
you.
quite interesting about your story, or maybe you can just take me through about your story, is that before business you were employed for quite a while. Just take me through that particular journey and how exactly you got into now being very technical, as you're talking off screen, on how you know about the biodigester and everything. What were you doing before you delved into now setting up your own?
Before I started doing biodigester, I worked for an insurance company as a marketer. Then I stopped and I was employed in a company that does the same, the biodigester, as a marketer also. And then after some time, I went and started my own.
After that experience, how long are you employed for the company that you
like
run?
3 years.
And then something quite interesting, biodigester, you're a marketer before, it's very technical, it's waste management. How did the interest sprout out?
I think the people that I worked with, my former boss was very open. He carried me everywhere to do the demonstrations, to go on site. He actually bought my first tape measure. Is it called tape measure?
Yes.
Yes, he bought me the first one. And he he's the one that created the interest in me. He made me love the industry. He gave me the opportunity to learn the job, and of course again, I wanted to make money. I wasn't getting enough, and so out of wanting to make money, out of wanting to do my own thing, and out of wanting to do it my own way. I think
that's when you decided up on your musho of being employed. And it's an industry that's quote unquote male dominated.
Yes.
And you're getting to this particular industry. How exactly was it for you initially when you got in? How was it for you sourcing for clients and just getting business?
It was difficult. And when I mean difficult, it was when I began, I didn't have a car.
Yeah.
And it was new. This technology was new.
Yeah.
It's not easy to sell a new technology in Kenya. It's difficult. And this particular one, it's not the one that you can do purely online.
Yeah.
You go on sites. Like I used to wake up in the morning, decide I'm going to Syokimau or Kitengera. Take a matatu. I go to Kitengera or Syokimau. Syokimau, it's not the Syokimau you see along Mombasa Road.
Yes, I know.
There is the Syokimau Inn.
Yes.
So I walk. I used to walk every new site.
So each and every day you had a plan?
Yes, I had a plan. Today I'm going to this area, tomorrow this area, and I did the walking, pure walking. Until at some point, the shoe shiners, especially in Kitengera, knew me. Because every time I go walking, then I come back, I want them to clean my shoes so that I can go back to town. My very encouraging move was one. I went to Kitengera. A doctor asks me questions, and without my knowledge, I tell him what I know. And then he says, Eunice, I'm going to give you this job. He writes a check, full check for that job. He pays me before we even start the work.
Wow.
I was very encouraged. And now I believed in myself, and I decided, so I can do it. That was the first check that I had gotten. After now, I started doing it on my own. And it was very encouraging. Now that gave me the motivation to move on. So it was, at the beginning, it was not easy. It was very hard. I really worked, but now is easy. At least I can sit and people call. People call now. The technology is well known. People know that biodigesters work. It's a better technology. It's pocket friendly. People know it, and they call.
Interesting. And maybe just for the sake of the viewers, what's the difference between what's the technology, or maybe just in brief, the technical difference between the septic tank and the biodigester?
Now with the biodigester, there is the breaking down of the solids into water and gas. But the gas is the methane. The methane in human waste is the simplest component. It is not much, so it can't light. So we measure on water. Now this water, it is the water that is coming from the house. The equal amount of water that gets into the biodigester is the equal amount of water that comes out. Yeah. Now this water goes to the soakage. A soakage is a trench that we dig. Yeah. We dig a trench, and in this technology, we advise clients don't dig a hole, dig a trench. Yeah. Because the top layer of soil up to probably 6 feet is the one that absorbs the water. Yes. The other one, when you go deeper, you go getting the rocks and the water underground. So this water soaks naturally to the ground. All the water is harvested and done local filtration, and the water is used for grass and flowers. This technology, our technology, doesn't have pure clean water that can be used for other things like getting it back to the house. No, but it can be used for grass and flowers.
Interesting. Yeah. How exactly have you managed to just remain afloat all through the years?
I think doing good job, being true to yourself, and speaking the truth to the clients. Like when you're paid, you deliver, and you deliver properly. Do a good job. Like most of my clients are referrals. Actually, more than 90% of my clients are referrals. Yeah. And when you rely on referrals, then that says that what you're doing is good, what you're offering is good, and so your clients are giving your number to their friends.
As it is right now, what are some of the challenges you're facing in terms of just running the business?
Challenges are there is still a group that haven't bought the idea of this technology. They are still stuck to the septic tanks. And then also, there are other people that have done bad jobs. And so when now somebody has not done a good job, and you are there telling the client that you can do the same thing, but in a better way, it's not easy. The other challenge is when you don't work as a group. Because in this field, you need the owner. The owner is key. Then there is the plumber, and now us. Now, when you don't work as a team, like the plumber does his thing and we come and do our thing, then, or we do our thing and then the plumber comes and does his thing, then the system may have issues. And now, when it has issues, now the blame, in most cases, the blame is on me.
Yes.
They will say the biodigester is not working. Yeah. But in actual sense, if we can work backwards, it is not the biodigester. It's probably because the area where they suggested we put is not the best. And there was no space, so we were not able to change. And again, we have limited spaces, especially in Nairobi. So we squeeze.
Interesting. All right. And maybe just as a final question, as you being the entrepreneur and holding this particular vision, you've been at it for quite a number of years.
Yes.
Is it something you're going to do for the rest of your life? What's your dream with regards to the business?
My dream is to do it in a better way, improve on the system. Now, probably bring in something that that the water can be reused rather than just being soaked. So that's my big vision. Doing it in a bigger way. This is a small way. Now doing it in a bigger way, whereby probably the water can be reused and for other things.
Just before.
Yes, for other things. Basically, that's what I think I would. If I remain in this industry, I don't want to remain where I am. I want to do it in a bigger way.
So we're going to take a short commercial break, but after the break, I'm going to be linking up Eunice to Sally of Directways, who run a very interesting technology in the waste management called Jukatsu, so that Eunice can get to learn more about this particular new technology to grow her business. So don't touch that dial. I'll see you after the break.